Click on the subscribe button and remember to press the bell icon for regular notifications from our digital blogger. Hello friends, welcome to our digital blogger. Today we are going to compare two full service stockbrokers, Religare Securities and India Infoline, also called IIFL. Both these stockbrokers have their own values, positives and negatives. We'll talk all of that. In fact, we'll talk about company backgrounds, account opening and maintenance charges, brokerage rates. We'll also do a small demo with the brokerage calculators, exposure or leverage offered by these brokers across segments, research quality, customer service, trading platforms, and some of the features that can help you to figure out which of these two stockbrokers is a better choice for you. Let's get started. So starting with the company background, both of these are full service stockbrokers. That basically means that they're going to charge you a relatively high brokerage rate, but nonetheless they will give you a lot of services in lieu of that. IIFL was incorporated in the year 1995, Religare Securities 1 year older, 1994. India Infoline has a presence in 4,400 sub-brokers and franchise locations across different parts of India. So even if you're living in a smaller city, second, third tier, even fourth tier city, there is a possibility that you might find India Infoline branch around your location. Religare Securities has a modest coverage of only 500. So primarily first or second tier cities are covered by these full service brokers. IIFL is a member of NSE, BSE, MCX and NCDEX. Religare Securities holds an additional membership with MCX SX. So certainly there is a slight edge for India Infoline as compared to Religare Securities when it comes to the company background. When we talk about account opening charges, IIFL is going to be a little expensive onto your pocket. Trading account costs you 750 rupees, Demat account another 555 rupees. They run a lot of promotions these days where they can tell you that they might open your account for free or even give you brokerage cash back. So you have to certainly get in touch with these guys to understand what the offers are. India Infoline charges you 300 rupees for AMC of Demat account. When it comes to Religare Securities, they have a flat charge of 500 for the trading account. Demat account is free. At the same time, the AMC is similar to what IIFL charges at 300 rupees. So at the onset, IIFL looks relatively expensive stockbroker as compared to Religare. When you talk about the brokerage, now this is the specific charge you're going to pay to these brokers on a regular basis. So whenever you trade on the stock market, be it an intraday or a long-term investment, you are going to shell out some specific amount, part of your trade value as a brokerage rate. Now India Infoline charges you 0.5% for delivery. Similar value goes with Religare Securities. The only difference comes into when you go into the derivatives trading part, equity options at 100 rupees per lot for IIFL as compared to 70 rupees per lot for Religare Securities. Now what we can do is we'll do a small demo. We'll run through different brokerage calculators and see what values do you get when you trade across different segments here. So we'll start with India Infoline's brokerage calculator. Just scroll down here and select a particular segment. Let's think we are going to do a demo for equity delivery trades. Let's say your buy price is 150 rupees. You're selling the same stock at 200. You bought 1,000 of such shares. The state in this case, let's say, is Maharashtra. Now this particular value decides the stamp duty. You just click on calculate here. Once you do that, you will be able to figure out what our different expenses are going to pay to this broker. Now 1750 is your brokerage rate. It can go down. There are multiple plans India Infoline offers to you, especially if you have higher trading account deposit, or if you have a high turnover promise. In that particular case, you can go get brokerage as low as 0.1% on your delivery and 0.01% at your intraday level. You can check these calculations for other segments as well, be it currency, commodity or derivative level trading. So this is for India Infoline. We can check that out for Religare Securities, but since we just found out that 0.5% is something that they charge, it's not going to be a lot different. The values are going to be more or less similar, but the only sort of deviation I'm expecting is the other taxes part. So you can see that if I click on calculate here, I guess there are some sort of confusion. 150 to 200, yeah, sorry for that. So we added up here 150, 200, click on calculate. We get similar values. 47536 is gonna get out of this. Now Religare Securities honestly does not provide that high of a value as compared to Infoline. So charging the same brokerage is probably not justified in case of Religare Securities. Only from brokerage perspective. We will talk about the other values as well. We have just talked about the company background, account opening charges. In the latter part of the video, we'll talk about trading platforms, exposure, and some other services. But then you will figure out that the same brokerage rates, if applicable, are not going to be right judgment for both the stockbrokers. Religare Securities is far behind in terms of providing value to their clients as compared to Infoline. But let's talk about the facts first and then come to that conclusion. So moving ahead from brokerage, let's talk about exposure or leverage. Now for people who do not understand this, basically exposure is a short-term loan that is provided by a stockbroker at a specific rate of interest. This could be in the range of 15 to 17%. Yeah, I know it's pretty high from that perspective, but at the same time, it kind of allows you to have higher profit margins. At the same time, it also is rather could be a potential curse on your trading account deposit. So be very cautious while using exposure or leverage. Unless you understand the risks and complications, do not use it in the first place itself. So Infoline gives you 20 times exposure in intraday and 3 times for delivery. Religare Securities goes up to 10 for intraday and for delivery trades. In other segments, there is not much of a difference. Now, the way it works is very simple. Let's say you have trading account balance of 10,000 rupees. For intraday trades, you can trade up to 2 lakh with Infoline. Religare Securities can go up to 1 lakh. So certainly the amount of profit that you can gain using exposure can be very much amplified. So again, but be very cautious while using it. Then it comes to customer service, more or less the customer communication channels are similar. Email support, phone and offline branches is something both the stockbrokers provide to you. Offline branches is a huge variance. So IIFL has 4,400 as compared to 500 of Religare Securities. Even if you talk about quality part, the turnaround time and the customization of the language, at the same time the skill set of the executives, the training of the executives is far more professional in case of Infoline as compared to Religare Securities. Religare Securities actually seems like more of a salesy in nature. They will be pretty much calling you all the time unless you have opened the account with them, and once you do that, the frequency gets much lesser. Then talk about research and trading products. Since these are full service brokers, again you will get all kinds of tips, recommendations, analysis, IPO or budget analysis as well on a regular basis. Again, the accuracy is something that matters in this case. IIFL is way more mature in terms of providing expertise in different kind of reports, be it technical or fundamental in nature. So if you want to trust a stockbroker between these two in terms of the research part, go with IIFL. Trading segments, not much of a difference. You can trade across equity, mutual funds, IPO, currency, commodity, and more or less 4 to 5 other investment products by these both full service stockbrokers here. Then we have some other features. Whether you need those features in the first place is important to you. If you do, then you can certainly spend some time here. Otherwise, you can jump to the other part of the video. Now here we can see that 3-in-1 account is not provided by both the brokers because those are provided only by bank-based stockbrokers. However, there is a difference when it comes to things like automated trading. So automated trading is provided by Infoline while Religare Securities does not do that. Otherwise, both the stockbrokers are similar. Margin funding as well is a differentiator. Now we'll talk about the trading platforms. Very, very crucial, especially for people who are looking to enter in the stock market or at expert level. Really, it kind of matters to everyone for that case. So mobile apps, performance, flexibility, at the same time number of features, performance, at the same time if you want to perform a technical analysis or fundamental analysis, the number of charts, technical indicators. So there is an exhaustiveness when it comes to judging a particular trading platform. We'll talk of all of that, and we will start with the mobile applications offered by these two stockbrokers here. For that, we need to check out Google Play Store. So start with the mobile application of Religare Securities. It's called Religare Dynamy. Now this is rated at 3.3, very poor rating, out of which 35% of the users have rated this app negatively. We're talking about a sample size of 3,300. So it makes it quite an objective sort of statement. We look at the stats here. The last update was done on 13th of November 2017. Generally they update the mobile app in a range of 6 to 7 weeks, which can be improved to a range of let's say 3 to 4 weeks if not more. Number of installs 1 lakh to 5 lakh. At the the same time, there are a lot of concerns with this application. Before you make up your mind, you need to know that the portfolio update takes a lot of time. It takes their own sweet time to actually get loaded. The fund transfer process is a little complicated in nature. There is sort of a delay in the feed, so the numbers you're looking at, the stock values, the index values you're looking at, it is a possibility that it might come with a delay, especially if you're using a 2G or a 3G internet connection. Then the app hangs at times, so if you're an intraday level trader, you might find yourself in a sort of an experience with the app getting frozen, the screen getting frozen on a regular basis. So these are some of the concerns in this application, and no wonder the application is rated at 3.3 by 3,300 users. So that gives you a very good idea on the application's overall performance as compared to what India Infoline's mobile app IIFL Markets gives. Is rated 4.3 by 22,700 users. So that's a very big sample size. And the best part is only 7% have rated this app negatively. Satisfaction score in this case is 93%. It is without any doubt one of the top 3 mobile applications in India for trading. At the same time, if you look at the update frequency, the last one was done on December 11, 2017. They update their mobile app in a range of 2 weeks at max. Number of installs 1 million to 5 million. The numbers are staggering here. At the same time, if you look at some of the concerns, yes, you might find a bit of a connectivity issues if you are living in this 3rd tier, 4th tier city or a village. So it's more of a problem of your internet connection rather than the application itself, but still that is a concern that can be worked upon by India Infoline. Otherwise, the application is certainly a recommendable software. They also have a guest login if you want to try it out without any biases, and making sure that you have the first hand experience of this mobile application for yourself. So between the Religare Dynamic and IIFL Markets, without any doubt, go with the IIFL Markets. Now we will talk about the other trading platforms offered by these 2 full service brokers. For that, we need to check out digitalblogger.com. So again, we'll start with India Infoline. They have a terminal based software called IIFL Terminal. You can check out the review here by clicking on this link. Similarly, if you talk about the number of features, pretty exhaustive in nature. Performance and speed is also good. This is a .NET based framework, so you need to install this application onto your computer. A .NET framework is also sort of a compulsion to make sure this application works smoothly. Number of features are exhaustive as mentioned earlier. At the same time, if you want to perform your technical analysis, there are more than 100 technical indicators to go with around 15 types of charts. At the same time, if you talk about IIFL Markets, this is a mobile application, certainly recommended software. You can also check out our review of IIFL Markets by clicking on this link here. Then we have terminal web-based application. Now you don't need to download or install anything for this. Just go to the website of IIFL, click on login, and you can directly access the web trading application. Now, number of features in this application are going to be limited in nature, so you can't really have high expectations as compared to what IIFL Terminal gives to you. But still, it's a decent application for beginner to intermediate level traders. These are the different trading applications offered by IIFL Markets. You can see that they have a decent focus on their technology part when it comes to delivering value to their clients in terms of the trading experience they get across the trading platforms here. Now let's see what India Infoline, or rather Religare Securities, has to offer through its technology, whether they are good enough to compete against this master here. So again, in this case, we have a web-based browser application. Number of features are good. Browser-based web application, no need to download or install anything. Number of features are not going to be very high. Decent trading application for a beginner level trader to, let's say, an intermediate one. Then they have trade on the go. This is also a mobile application. This is something that was working for them before Religare Dynamic come into picture. Now again, this application is pretty good, can be used on a tab device. It's also available on iOS for Apple users. At the same time, the design and the overall user experience is pretty primitive in nature. So if you want to use a decent trading application, Religare Dynamic honestly does not have a good mobile app as of now. The mobile in talking about mobile, Religare Dynamic, something we already discussed, not recommended for you. Then they have Equity Audit Diet. Obviously, this is third-party software. Audit Diet can be used for your trading through terminal-based solution. Now you actually need to download this, install this onto your computer. User experience is going to be a little compromised if you use this application. Otherwise, pretty exhaustive in nature. Make sure you have a discussion in terms of pricing for this. It's a possibility they might charge you for using trading equity or in diet. Otherwise, it's a good enough application. Now, within the range of trading applications we see with Religare Securities, more or less around average in nature. None of the application is for expert level traders for now. Mobile application can be thrown out of the picture for sure. So if you want to focus on technology or trading platforms, between Religare Securities and India Infoline, as you can just see, you should be going ahead with India Infoline. Rest is your choice. So that's it as far as comparison between India Infoline or Religare Securities is concerned. We talked about multiple features, talking about company background, pricing, account opening rates, exposure, trading products, trading platforms, research. Now you have to see what you want. Based on that, you can make a choice for yourself. However, if you want our suggestion in finalizing a stockbroker that matches exactly with your requirements, you can check out this link here, digitalblogger.com/free stockbroker suggestion. Provide your details and your preferences and we will set up a call back for you absolutely free. So that's it for the video. Thank you so much for watching it. We hope you liked it. In case you did, please go and press the thumbs icon. We'll really appreciate that. You can also follow us, subscribe us, like us on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, SlideShare and YouTube with the same handle, Digital Blogger, where we post content on a regular basis. Thank you so much again. Bye-bye.